We've got multiple tests that were sent in on a swab showing your levels are dangerously high. So,
Which
Ms. Rice, I'm talking. So, Ms. Rice, I have great concerns about your mental health, your physical health, and your just defiance from day one of the court's orders, and also a downhill spiral that I'm seeing in your behavior. Court's orders are in place, and while I have great sympathy for your trials and tribulations, I also feel that you have taken advantage of that to some extent, trying to manipulate the court. But based on just the overwhelming issues I've had for you, with you and your failure to comply with court orders.
Please, I'm begging you, my kids are gonna be in foster care. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, don't touch me.
Today is our 10th episode of F Around and Find Out. So I have an insane video for you. In today's video, we have two defendants who did not expect the judge's rulings, leaving one of the defendants to have a complete meltdown in court. You don't want to miss this one, so grab your snack and let's get right into the video.
This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Stephanie Lynn Rice, file number 21-20664, FH, and 22-20716, FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Rice, and I have B.B. Neer appearing on behalf of the people. So, couple things. Ms. Rice, Mr. Coast has provided some information on Monday, June 5, 8:49. Mr. Coast stated that Ms. Rice had a swab done on June 1 of 2023. She did not have the money to pay for it, but Mr. Coast did perform the test. Ms. Rice, just for future reference, small children, it's never really appropriate to bring them here.
I understand.
The drug screen returned positive for methamphetamine, 1,121 nanograms per milliliter, which is actually at a dangerously high level. She was here today for contempt of court sentencing for failing to call on a daily basis directed. In this case, it's another violation.
Can I speak on this?
Not yet. So I had released her on a care bond again. I mean, I've taken her into custody and released her before. Mr. Malaro, I'm going to ask that Mr. Coast do a contempt of court warrant on the violation of drug testing. But due to the levels, I have some grave concerns. It would be my intention to take her into custody today. Mr. Malaro, I know that she will probably want to speak with you.
Judge, if I may?
Yes.
So I have one more file. She's in the jail. And if the court's willing, I'd like to take care of that case. And then I'd like to come over and maybe we can get some progress done on Ms. Rice's files, including what the court has just brought to my attention. So,
okay. So, Mr. Malaro, is your individual that's in custody in my court?
yeah, yes, it's Ms. Schermacher.
So I have like 4 people lined up at the jail, and I've been never really sure who they're going to bring me. If you want to come over now, and as soon as I get Ms. Schermacher, you could, Zoom from and back if you wanted, or I can wait. It doesn't matter. Whatever is
Okay.
more.
No, yeah, I'll come over now, Judge. That's fine.
All right, Ms. Rice, have a seat. All right, this is in the matter that people of the state of Michigan versus Stephanie Lynn Rice, file numbers 21-20664, FH, and 22-20716, FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Ms. Rice, and I have B.B. Neer appearing on behalf of the people. Darren Coast is present is our pretrial services coordinator who did administer another test today. So we are here on a couple things today. One thing we are here on is a sentencing on a contempt of court, as well as a pretrial conference on the underlying file. Ms. Rice is charged with aggravated stalking, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine. We were previously set for trial, and now we are again set for, we are set for trial for August 1 for a one-day trial at 9 a.m. So with regard to first the pre-trial today, Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I think if I understood Ms. Meir correctly, do you want me to do it or you want to do it? Okay, Ms. Meir is going to tell you what we're going to do.
Yeah, so, well, maybe, I guess, I'll have Mr. Millar correct me if I'm wrong, but the people are in a bit of a, I guess, uncomfortable situation or bad situation in these cases. In preparation for the trial, I did meet with some of my witnesses, the victims in this case, and they are quite frankly just fed up with this at this point. And I, obviously I could make them come in and testify, but at this point, I don't think they really want anything to do with this. So it does put me in a difficult situation. So what I am asking of the court is a bit unconventional, but I think their exasperation with this case and with Ms. Rice does have to do with obviously the time delays, the fact that we've been set for trial before, I think even a year ago, and Ms. Rice has, on a number of occasions failed to appear. She now has these new drug screens. So I guess what I'm asking for the court, again, it's unconventional, but that I will dismiss these felony charges as well as the PPO violations and ask the court to sentence Ms. Rice to the maximum on the contempt of court. I think that would accurately reflect the delays in this case and the fact that I do have to dismiss because of the delays in this case that were mostly at Ms. Rice's cause, just her, again, not appearing, these positive tests. And that's what I would ask of the court. I don't know if she would plead guilty to those contempts or if the court would find her guilty.
She already pled guilty to
okay, perfect.
Sentencing today.
And Mr. Coast did advise me that the drug screen today was also positive.
Okay. Mr. Malaro, are you going to object to people dismissing the underlying file as well as PPO violations?
Judge, no objection to any of that. The only other issue is clarification. I did inform Ms. Meir that I would be arguing the issue of how much time.
On the contempt of court?
That the court, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, very good. I will move to the issue of sentencing on the contempt of court. Look through this file, go through this file. Waiver, discovery, adjourn. And this has been going on for about 2 years now, and it's a serious case. So, Ms. Rice, we should be grateful that it's being dismissed. Are there new charges from this alleged incident that occurred the other day?
So there are new charges pending in district court that have already been filed. I think it's a trespass, but it might be just an assault.
I think it's an assault battery, Your Honor.
And then Mr. Coase advised us of an incident yesterday that may also have new charges. Those will obviously be dealt with in district court separately.
Okay.
And I, again, don't want to dismiss these charges, but I think at this point, it's best to move forward and not make Ms. Rice's ex and son testify if it's not necessary.
Okay. All right. So, with regard to sentencing today on the contempt court, are you ready to proceed to that, Mr. McLaren?
And Your Honor.
All right. Do people have any position on sentencing before the court proceeds?
Just like I said, I do think the maximum on the contempt of court would accurately reflect the delays in this case. Time is often in favor of the accused, and it certainly has worked in Ms. Rice's favor in this case. But that being said, I think the maximum on the contempt is more than fair, given her number of positive tests, including today being positive. And Given, I could go back and see how many times this was delayed based on her non-appearance, but I don't have that figure right in front of me. On both cases, and as well, that's not even counting the district court where she had failed to appear and was arrested in district court before it was found over. So, thank you.
Mr. Millar, anything you'd like to say on behalf of Ms. Rice?
I would, Judge. Judge, I have represented Ms. Rice almost since the time I started the public defender's office. So I'm very well acquainted with Ms. Rice and all of her legal troubles. That being said, Judge, none of this is an excuse for her behavior, but 3-4 years ago, it's very, well, first of all, and I think this court's also well acquainted with Ms. Rice as well. Whatever happened prior to that has certainly played a great deal on her emotion, how she handles things at an emotional level. And I think as we all know, when we let emotions take control of our decision-making process, we usually make bad decisions. And Ms. Rice is engaged in counseling and therapy and will probably need it for a very long time to help her get past that area where she lets her emotions take control of her decision-making process. That being said, there are times where she is she has some good attributes. One is she's a good mother. And I know that this court could argue and not actually argue, but state that how can you be a good mother if you're using drugs that you shouldn't be using? And there's no debate with that. But by all accounts, through her CPS case, which I handled, and through today, her primary focus for the last 3 years has been her children. She has 2. She is the primary caregiver. The fact that CPS has closed the file on her shows that she's committed to continuing to be a good mother.
That was quite a while ago.
About 10 months, maybe. I think it was December, October. But she has continued to make strides to getting housing, getting the services she needs. Guardian, last time we were in on that case, had no issues with her as her parenting skills. Ms. Rice faces many challenges, Judge. She was in district court yesterday, and I was present for that hearing, and the judge, spoke to her. And one of the things that's apparent is Ms. Rice has so much burdening her. Children, these pending cases, which I think if we can get them, if these are finally resolved today, will be a great help in getting her past that. Remove those stressors that I think will help her life settle down somewhat, and she can spend more time focusing on her children. I think she tends to put too much emphasis on things and uses that as a way to justify some of her behavior, such as not appearing in court, not attending certain things. And I certainly understand the state's point of view on this and their situation. But I think this is a good resolution. I think that the longer she's in jail, the more risk her children are. And so with all of that being said, Judge, and knowing Ms. Rice and knowing that she actually has a case, she has to be in district court on this assault charge this morning. Yes, I told her to come here first, and she did. I'd ask the court to use its wisdom and fashion the most appropriate and lenient sentence as many jail time as it possibly can. That would be our request on Ms. Rice's behalf.
Ms. Rice, is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
Yeah.
Okay, I need you to go stand at the podium for me.
3 years ago when Eleanor was born at Toledo Children's Hospital, her meconium came back with methamphetamine in it. And I had not touched it. I had never touched it. And so they did a very extensive and intrusive test through ProMedica. Eleanor had zero withdrawal, zero. They monitored her for 6 hours. She had zero withdrawals, not one withdrawal did she have, none. Because I wasn't using that drug, but the drugs that I take through my Dr. Noble, and Dr. Noble told me and my case manager this in her office, they cause a false positive. When Memphis was born, his meconium came back with the same exact test results, but they didn't even go through what they went through. They didn't call CPS. CPS never got called because they knew that it was verbatim the same exact as Eleanor's. My kids will lose everything, and I have worked really hard to get where we're at. We will lose it all. When I went to jail this last time, I lost my daycare for my kids, which is why I had to bring them to court. I reapplied. I started all over. I started all over all of my stuff again. This thing downstairs that happened, I need to be able to fight that because it's a lie. I didn't put my hands on her. She put her hands on me and my kids.
All right, so ma'am, I don't want you to talk about any pending cases. Because
Sorry.
everything you say can be used against you because this is a court record. All right, so don't talk about events that occurred on new cases. Say that for your parents.
I know that my kids will be in foster care if I go to jail. I don't have anybody to watch them. Their dad has not seen them in over 2 months. I've climbed out of my trenches. I've climbed out of them by myself. I've worked by myself with them in tow, and we need each other, and they need me, and I'm not using.
Mr. Coast, you administered a test today to her, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And did she test positive for anything?
Tested positive for the THC, amphetamines, and also methamphetamines.
Now, we know she's on Adderall, but her levels were extremely high, so that would be more than, and it would cause a positive
Correct,
test.
and to her previous test was a swab that was actually sent to the lab. I did talk to the lab. They said the only thing that will make methamphetamine turn positive is methamphetamine. Won't do a false positive in the Adderall.
True.
All right, so Ms. Rice, now I realize that you completed a CPS case, you had your children placed in your care, and the case was closed in October. But what I will tell you, what I've seen is you go downhill since then. I'm talking now, not you. So on April 17th of 2023, there was a motion affidavit and bench warrant because you failed to call in to pretrial services coordinator. They were imposed on a daily basis. There were no call-ins from 4/10 of 23 to today. It's date on April 17th. Let's see. I have a drug screen collected April 6th of 23 that shows a positive test for methamphetamine. So then, let's see, we'll go to the next one. On May 16th of 2023, you failed to appear for warrant on May 16th of 2023. Issued bench warrant. Let's see, this one was filed April 18th. Call in. Let's see. Prepare bench warrant arraignment. I have a failure to appear for bench warrant arraignment on May 16th. Signed by me on May 16th. I have pretrial release order to comply with CMH recommendations and medications. And we've got multiple tests that were sent in on a swab showing your levels are dangerously high. So, Ms. Rice, I'm talking. So, Ms. Rice, I have great concerns about your mental health, your physical health, and your just defiance from day one of the court's orders, and also a downhill spiral that I'm seeing in your behavior. Court's orders are in place, and while I have great sympathy for your trials and tribulations, I also feel that you have taken advantage of that to some extent, trying to manipulate the court. But based on just the overwhelming issues I've had for you, with you and your failure to comply with court orders, I think you got off very lucky today because the charges are being dismissed. But I am going to sentence you to court or to jail for 93 days.
Please don't do my kids to be a foster care. Please don't.
Well,
please,
get
Judge.
credit for any time you've already served.
Can you please
You're all
just
set.
give me
Thank
a
you.
try? Please,
No.
Judge. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. My kids are going to be in foster care. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I can't do 93 jails. Can I pay? Please, can I bond out? Can I pay?
You're
I can't do this. Please.
gonna get credit.
Please. This is why I don't come.
You're gonna get credit.
Let me go, please.
No.
Please let me go. Okay, but I can't breathe. I can't breathe this way. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I need some water. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Please, can I have some water? I can't breathe. No, I can't walk. I can't walk. No, I can't. I can't walk like this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't talk to me like that. I can't do it. I can't breathe.
You're not reading this.
I'll take it off. But I've heard that for 4 years. Don't you think you want to go outside? 3 years. Every time we're in court, I hear that.
And we are on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Shelley Phipps, 23605.
Can I have permission from my client to abstain?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for being my client.
Thank you. Ms. Phipps, your name, please, for the record.
Shelley Phipps.
All right, thank you. And so today is the date for the adjourned jail review. There's a jail review held on May 31st. And that was because Ms. Phipps had not registered and she indicated she had and she had tested. She had claimed that she had not yet registered. We adjourned this matter and the court will note that Ms. Phipps tested on May 23rd, but somehow did not sign in. So I'm not really sure how that happened, but she is registered and she is testing. And I know that because we have the test results from her May 23rd test, which, ma'am, what do you think that showed?
Okay.
Sure did. Okay, counsel?
Discretion of court judge.
I'm going to meetings. I have a drug problem and that's it. I sit alone, I'm homeless, and if I go to jail, then I guess that's what it is. I'll be done with the court costs, and I can't keep paying money I don't have.
Oh, man, I ain't worried about jail, man. What the fuck? You sound like a bitch. Bitch? Man, I ain't worried about jail. Shit, man, I don't give a damn about going to jail. Nigga, take me to jail.
Take me to jail?
Shit, lock me up.
Lock me up?
Throw away the key.
Throw away the key?
I ain't afraid to put somebody in his ass.
Hey, no. No.
Well, ma'am, are you getting the cocaine for free?
Pardon me?
Are you getting the cocaine for free?
A friend of mine gave it to me. That's how I got it. So-called friend. I deleted their number and blocked them, so that's that.
I'm sorry?
I deleted the number and I blocked it.
Oh. Okay, well, this court had sent it to me in the 60 days jail. We suspended it. And we set it for a jail review. And we are back here
And your posit, 19,279 nanograms per milliliter is what was in your system, ma'am. So you tested on May 23rd. When did you last use the cocaine before testing?
The day before,
And if you were to test right now, what's in your system?
probably cocaine.
When did you last use it?
Just a couple days ago, 2 days ago. Very little. I take pain pills that are prescribed. I take seizure medicine and I take a muscle relaxer to ease pressure in my mind. We'll close that interview.
Ma'am, this court gave you an opportunity
Okay, so I guess I'm going to
to
jail.
not go to jail, to not be sentenced directly to jail. This court gave you the opportunity. And you have not availed yourself of that opportunity to remain jail-free. So the court's going to indicate that you are to serve the 60 days jail, and the court's going to suspend the fines and costs that it initially set. Because your first payment was supposed to be today of $25.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Okay, you can make that payment, ma'am.
Oh, I can make payment, go to jail?
Well, as a matter of fact, no, you can just keep that payment. The court's suspending the fines and costs. And you're gonna serve the 60 days jail. And you're just going to go there today, so. Anything else, counsel?
No.
All right, thank you.
$40 in my bank.
Will you hand me my screen box?